Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is sugar cookie. I got it at Giant Eagle. I didn't think it had too much of an intense flavor, but it was good. And this morning I'm going to try it with some frosted sugar cookie creamer. So today is going to be low 50s, and it's in the 30s this morning, in the upper 30s, so it's chilly. And I saw some frost on the cars and on my roof. So winter is coming, but I think we're going to have a day or so of low 60s coming up. So I still have to turn my water off outside, and I'll just do a couple things out there. I'm not even going to cover up too many things because a lot of the stuff I have out there is really old. It's starting to rust. And if it doesn't survive the winter, then I'm going to pitch it. So I'm going to downsize and declutter my garden stuff as well. Anything that I really, really want to keep, I will cover up. So I cleaned my coffee maker yesterday. And this little guy is very easy to clean. When it needs to be descaled, it'll flash red. And then I use vinegar. So I ran a couple of doses of vinegar through it, and it's good as new. So, all right, let's put a little creamer in our coffee. I know, weird, huh? No chocolate creamer this morning. Well, I found that chocolate creamer doesn't go well with the amaretto coffee that I bought. And it doesn't make this sugar cookie taste the best either. So that's why I thought I would try the International Delight Grinch frosted sugar cookie. So, I don't know. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Yep, it's good, but I'm still not tasting sugar cookie. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes when your nose doesn't work right, like I have a very low sense of smell because of polyps in my nose, and it probably does affect your taste too. So, but it's good. I will drink it. So today I think I'm going to take a little trip to my daughter's house and visit with her for a bit. Maybe have some brunch with her. She took the day off. So I love hanging out with my daughter. She's actually my best friend. And I'm blessed. I have more than one best friend, but she's my best friend. Then my best friend that isn't related to me, but I think we were sisters in another life. She lives right next door, and my mom's always been my best friend too. So, I don't know, is there a tier of best friends? Maybe so, but I'm very, very blessed to have the people I have in my life. So I'm not planning on doing any shopping today, but I do have to start thinking about Christmas. And sometimes, even though I do give money as a gift, sometimes I like to give just a little something, whether that's a little gift basket with goodies in it or, something around that nature. So I have to give it some thought. I mean, I still have time. I don't want to do 2 months of Christmas or a whole year of Christmas. December dedicated to Christmas is more than enough for me. So I know a lot of people, they'll shop all year long for Christmas, and that's a good plan if there's things that you find on sale. But if there's specific things that a person would like, it's kind of hard to shop that way. So anyway, I'm going to go enjoy my sugar cookie coffee, and I will meet you at the budget book. Right, here we are back at my budget book. So yesterday I didn't spend any money, so good for me. I'm glad I got all the shopping done, and now what I'm doing is going through my refrigerator and just looking to see what I need to cook up, and I'm going to be cooking meals out of my refrigerator, pantry, prepper stash, and freezer. So that's what I'm planning to do the rest of the month. The only thing that I could foresee maybe is needing something like an ingredient, but I'm trying to cook around what I already have, and I'm making my own spice mixes from dehydrated veggies, and it's always a good thing to put in soup because sometimes what I do is I just make a greens seasoning, which is just dehydrated greens that I grind up, and it adds extra nutrients to my soup or salad or whatever. And I like to do that. You can do that with your lettuces, your spinach, cabbages, anything that's starting to turn. You can dehydrate and blitz it up and make it into a wonderful seasoning for your cooking. And it's pretty much free because you already paid for it, and rather than feeding it to the garbage, you can feed it to yourself. Now, you don't want to wait until it's like way past its prime. You know, if you feel something's getting a little old, then dehydrate it. Now, you don't need to have a dehydrator. You can turn it on your lowest setting in your oven as well. Just leave it in there until it's bone dry. That's important. And then go ahead and grind it up. And you can put all kinds of things together. Tomatoes, peppers, onions. You can even dehydrate your potatoes that are starting to go bad. And then later on, put it in a sauce. I mean, you buy those boxes of like au gratin potatoes and things like that. All the potatoes in there are dehydrated dry potatoes. You just rehydrate them and make a sauce. So you can do that with a cheese sauce or a white sauce, whatever. So you can dehydrate almost anything and stop wasting your food. It doesn't need to go into the garbage. So, all right. That is my budget book for the day, and I'm going to show you some of the projects I'm doing today. I'm going to be going to my daughter's and having brunch with her in a little bit, but I've been busy this morning. So without further ado, let me show you some of the things I've been doing. Somebody's on mouse patrol. Are you on mouse patrol? I have to put some mothballs in containers on those chairs yet. Otherwise, the little critters will make their home under there. They need to find a different space. There's one of my celery plants. I'll bring that in the house, see how long I can keep it going. It's a beautiful day. Still have a few leaves on the trees. And my wisteria still has lots of leaves. Doesn't drop those until winter snow time. So now we have a second patroller. I have plans for this deck for next year. See all the rot? So I'm going to replace this flooring with some sort of a composite decking. And I'm going to take these trees down. These kind of planted themselves. These didn't, but these did. And I don't want them there. It's just too shady here now. And I have a big maple over there that'll provide a lot of shade. So, but I'd like to extend my deck maybe another foot or two going that way. So anyway, I'll see how expensive that is since I have to replace this anyway. We'll see. My handyman said he can do it. I really like this little dehydrator. It's great for when you have small bits and bobs of this and that and you don't want to throw it away. You just throw it in the dehydrator and it's no work at all. So this one is an Elite Gourmet, and I bought that, probably a couple years ago, and I haven't regretted it. Now I have a bigger dehydrator too. It's the round kind. That I drag out when I have a lot of things to dehydrate, but for little things, this little dehydrator works just great. Here's another one of my favorite tools. It's a Black & Decker. It's like a screwdriver, but I use it as a drill, and it also has screwdriver parts, and I've had that for a long time too. I use this all the time, so I like that. And then I have a small drill over here that's rechargeable. I use that a lot too. So between those two things, pretty much everything I need to do, I can get done with those two things. Alright, this morning I had some celery that was starting to turn, so this morning I'm dehydrating some celery. Then I had a shriveled up apple. I'm going to dehydrate that and give it to the dogs as a treat. And I also had some green onion that needed to be used up. So I didn't want to run the dehydrator just with the celery, so I looked through my fridge and those are some of the other things I found. So I'm going to dehydrate this on 158 for 8 hours and see if that's enough to dry it out. So that's one project I have going. So I have a very small slow cooker here, and I'm going to make some soup. Things I want to use up. I have more of that celery that was starting to go bad. I have some green onions from the garden. I had some carrots that I need to do something with, and those were, I found those for a markdown on for $1. It was a big, huge bag, and one potato. So I'm going to put that in the slow cooker, and I'm going to add some of this pork flavor broth mix. It's not pork. I'm going to add some of this vegan ham flavored base. Going to add some liquid smoke. I'm going to put some of my green onion, tomato, garlic, and peppers that I just made the other day. And then I have this can of cannellini beans that needs to be used up. I have some rosemary that I'm going to put in. And pepper, whatever spices you like. But that's a good way to use up whatever it is you need to use up. And so that's going to be my dinner for tonight and probably for tomorrow. And I may have enough to freeze one too. So all right, that's a project I have going this morning as well. Well, I looked in my fridge again, and I have my 2 little tiny heads of cabbage left from my garden, and this is only how big they are. So those are getting put into the soup too. I'm just going to chop those up. And this is my soup. Looks good. It tastes really good, especially adding that liquid smoke. Gives it a nice smoky, salty flavor. So I'm going to enjoy that tonight. And then I'm going to add the can of beans once these vegetables are done cooking. So it should be a nice hearty soup. And pretty much it has protein and carbs and veggies, so it's an all-in-one meal. Okay, we are on day 11 of 101 Ways to Save, to Simplify Your Life by Candy Paul. So I'm trying to simplify my refrigerator by cooking up what I have in there, and so I can eat it, and then I can save a lot of money doing that. There we go. So there is my worm food, so I'm recycling that. The worms appreciate it, and then I appreciate their castings that they give me in the spring. Now my worms are still in the garage. I don't know how they're going to fare over the winter. Usually things don't freeze out in my garage because it's attached, but I don't know. But I cannot keep them in my bathtub anymore. It's too messy. It makes a big mess. So they're going to have to live in the garage if they survive, hopefully. That's good. If not, then I'm not going to be worm composting anymore. I do still have my composter outside that I dump things into. And I also have my composter that grinds the food and dehydrates it. And my plants did very well on that last year. So I'm no longer going to do the bokashi. I tried that, and it's just messy. So I'm trying to get rid of all the messy composting things that I've tried and pretty much concentrate just on the dehydrator dryer thing. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, that's what I want to do. So today is, she talks about rescue discarded treasures. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then, in his joy, went and sold all he had and bought that field. And that's from Matthew 13:44. So one man's trash is another man's treasure. Hunt for treasure at yard sales, flea markets, Goodwill, or other places that recycle what others can no longer use. Even if your bargain used dresser doesn't turn out to be a valuable antique in disguise, you will have the pleasure of finding new uses for an old and beloved belonging, the essence of simple living. Now, I don't really go to flea markets very often or garage sales. I used to go to a lot of garage sales with my mom when I was younger, and I would find clothes for my kids, or if they needed a walker or, anything like that. I would buy those things at garage sales. But over the years, I haven't really done much thrifting. I don't want to get in the habit of dragging more stuff in my house, but if I were to redecorate a room or redo a room, I would definitely consider doing that. But I have enough of my own things that I still like that I could change up a little bit. So a lot of times I take something from one room and put it in another room for a while, and that's how I decorate. So, but, going to all those things is definitely a good way to save money. But I've noticed lately, since all the prices have gone nuts, a lot of these places, the thrift stores and stuff, have really upped their prices. So I guess everybody wants a piece of the pie. But I bought... A couple years ago, I bought one of my dehydrators for $15 at a resale shop. I've bought a couple of nice tops at a resale shop. So I do have some things that I have bought, but I'm very picky about what I buy at secondhand stores, because usually I have an idea of what I want and I look around for it. until I find it cheap somewhere or on sale, or like I said, I rarely pay full price for anything. I don't buy expensive things because, first of all, sometimes you get tired of them and you just want to get rid of them. And I would rather keep my money than give it to somebody else by overpaying for things that I don't feel are worth it. So let me continue. Rescuing discarded treasures mirrors what God does with your life. He sees the value in what others disregard. Instead of discarding that which is still useful, He knows the quality and worth that lies beneath the scratched surface. I mean, if you think about it, everything on earth is recycled. Even us, we're even recycled. So, even in the universe, you know, if you have a star that goes supernova, that's the end of that star, but what it shoots out into the universe when it blows up creates new stars and new planets, and it even created us. So I think God is the ultimate recycler, and I think that is His plan of how the universe works. So check out yard sales and flea markets for unique items and unexpected bargains. You may discover a hidden treasure that no one else sees. And a lot of times you find things that are very unique and nobody else has them either. So, all right, that's my little chat on simplifying your life, trying to save money, not throwing your money to the wind, and just, we can't afford to do that anymore. I mean, even if you did it before, we just can't afford it anymore. We have to eat, we have to have shelter, we have to have clothing, we have to take care of each other, of our families. And so that money that you do get doesn't stretch as far anymore as it did before. Now maybe someday that'll turn around, and hopefully these crazy people will just kind of fade away. But I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But anyway, prepare a little bit for the future. Make sure this winter that you have an alternate source of heat. Check out, maybe you can get like faux fireplaces like the one I have that burn the canned heat. So a little bit of heat, or get yourself a little indoor generator. I don't know what you call them, but something that, it's like a big battery thing, something that you can keep charged up so that you can do a little cooking, maybe get yourself a little heat. Think about getting maybe like a big buddy heater or something like that. Even if you live in an apartment, you can do that. It burns propane. You can get the little bottles of propane, or you can store a bigger, I don't know how many gallons it is, 20 gallons of the bigger bottles, but just get yourself some alternate heat sources, alternate cooking sources, store some water. They even have, you know, you can put water in your bathtub and use that. You can put water in all of your sinks. I mean, if it happens that something happens to the water, you can fill up all your sinks, fill up all your pots, fill up any vesicle you have, and then you can still have water. Or buy the big things at Dollar Tree that you can store somewhere. I store mine on my basement steps off to the side so that it's not in the way of me going up and down the stairs. But each step gets one of those gallons all the way down, and that way I'll have enough water. I have a rain barrel that I can use and a Berkey, so those things work real well. But think about, just in case, having some alternate heat sources. You can get yourself a little burner that burns propane, and then keep those little bottles stored a little bit. Have enough candles. You can burn oil. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube of how to make little oil lamps using regular oil. So I have all these things just in case, because you never know. You know, the power can go out, and there you sit in the cold. Keep enough warm clothes on hand so that you can layer yourself up. A hat, gloves. It's very important to keep your head and extremities warm, because a lot of heat escapes through your extremities, and the body will want to keep your organs warm. So if you have a nice little hat or something, that if you do have a power outage, that you will still be safe and okay. So, all right, my friends, that is my chat for today. I'm going to get ready now and go to my daughter's and hang out with her for a while. And then my handyman is coming to do my attic floor and the electrical receptacle outside. He's going to replace that, and a couple other little things, but that should be it for the handyman for now. So that's all I have for you today, my friends. So I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself, be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.